Greetings. Welcome to the Yang style Tai Chi course. I'm Michael Gilman. We have a wonderful lesson this week. We're going to be working with some of the very basic energies of Tai Chi. Pong, Lu, Ji, and An. Roll back, press forward, push, and of course ward off. We're going to be reviewing the movements that we have covered up to this point, doing some Qigong, and then adding in some new movements. So please practice. Tai Chi is about doing these movements, doing these exercises that we go through. There's so much benefit to be had, and I certainly encourage you to just practice and do what you know. I'm sure you'll find a lot of benefit. All right? So let's start off, as always, with warming up. Just finding a nice solid base of support and turning the waist. Very important to keep the knees soft. Keep the spine erect. Now this movement is coming from the waist. It's not, you don't want to do this. You see no waist movement, it's just the arms. No, it's more the torso and then the arms just follow. In doing this, we get to exercise the waist, the arms. Energy gets down into the hands. Very good. This is one of the best things that you can do, really. Just standing around, do for yourself. Very simple, very easy. Right. Focus on what we call the lower dantian, the belly button region just below the belly button, as the point that is turning on a horizontal plane. You don't want to be rocking back and forth for this particular warm-up. Just nice and on a horizontal plane. Then we're going to exercise on the vertical plane by rolling down. And rolling up. Good. Start by shaking, just easy, letting everything go, letting the muscles and the joints just relax. Kids do this all the time, don't they? And we tell them, don't fidget, don't fidget, and yet that's how they stay loose and get and develop a body connection. So nice and free and easy. All right, shoulders, legs, shake. Everybody here in the studio is now shaking out. This is one of the things that, this particularly at home you should be doing. There's no reason why you cannot get up and just shake around a little bit. Even if you're at the bar or some other place and you're watching this, please get up and move around. You could be having your whatever it is in your hand. It's okay. Shake. Shake the other leg. You want to feel all these muscles moving. The muscle over top of the bone. Shake. This is coming from the hip joint. I'm not just moving the foot or the knee, but it's the whole leg coming from the hip joint. Right? And kick out a little bit, kick outs. Now this little kick out, if you see from the side, it's sort of like you're kicking your toes off. This is very, very good for low back. Very good, because it helps to create room and space in the spine. Just this little kick. It doesn't have to be very much. But you want to feel like your spine is sort of letting go and the legs are like you're lifting up on the rib cage and the other part of you is is sort of relaxing and down. This little kick out is very good to do. Okay, turn the waist once again. Now, I'm a little restricted to what I can do here because I have a microphone right here. And normally I allow myself to hit the shoulders to open up the shoulder joints, but it kind of makes a little banging, crashing sound, so I'm not going to do that. But at home you can. You can just allow this turn and allow the hand to hit into the shoulder to help break up any deposits in the shoulders. And then rolling down again. Rolling out. Okay, Wu Qi stance, or what we call at this point integration stance or Wu Qi stance, setting ourselves up, feet shoulder width, parallel. When we say parallel, we want the insides of the feet to be parallel, all right, as much as possible. Keep the knees soft. Don't lock the knees. The spine is slightly tucked under. You want to make sure that there's this feeling as if you had your low back slightly pressed against a wall or something like that. Relaxed under. The top of the head is lifting, sort of as if you're holding something up with the top of your head. It's like maybe I'm carrying a big jar full of water or something with the top of my head. So there's an intention there at the top. You know, my consciousness is lifting to the top of the head. This is very good to activate what we call the Shen, or the sort of intuitive energy of the body. The chin is just a little tucked under so that the top of the head can be flat, as opposed to this. The shoulders and upper ribs are hanging from above. You don't want to hold them up. You don't want to let them round. They're just hanging from the sides. Actually, it's coming from the head and down and hanging. The hands are held to the sides of the body, palms facing the thighs. The thumb could be sort of like along the edge of the pants, that kind of thing. With the fingers, you don't want to hold the fingers tight or curl or too loose. There's a sort of a little bit of what we call pong, a little bit of intention in the fingers so that they hang nicely down to the side. Breathing in and out through the nose, directing the breath to the lower belly, to the lower dantian. And we're using what we call the diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. So as we inhale, the belly's expanding in all directions. Now, a lot of times we think about, when we talk about belly breathing, we think about, okay, the front is going to expand. So it goes, but the back arches. You see, and that's not the way we want it. We want to keep the structure. And if I had a hand on the back and a hand on the front, both directions would be expanding, not just this way. So when we talk about diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing, there's a filling in all directions. It's like you have a balloon and it fills in all directions. It just doesn't fill in the front. Okay? So when you think about your belly breathing, think about this whole ball in your belly filling. Allowing the mind to calm and relax, focusing just on the breath. Then we're going to take an integration breath. Here we're going to open ourselves up to the cosmic energy, direct it down to the top of the head, direct it with our consciousness through the body, and as it moves through, it sort of enlivens and stimulates the energy pathways, aligns the energy pathways of the body. Okay? Right down, all these meridians run right down through the legs and right out through the toes and through the fingers. So setting yourself up so all the meridians are open, body is open. Very good. Now for a warm-up, let's do a little torso warming exercise by gently and easily circling the pelvis. Now in this exercise, we want to keep the head and the feet still, and the center is revolving around. So I really feel this is very, very good for the hip joints. If you do this correctly, you're getting, now, see, it's not like little bumps and grinds here. No, it's big, easy, lazy circles. I kind of visualize like an eagle, just, you know, there's lots of eagles here in Port Townsend, and they just circle with the winds, with these updrafts, and you can just see them just easy circling. Okay? So it's very nice exercise for the spine, for the torso, right? Nice big circles. You can do it at any speed you like. Always start off soft and easy, and you can go further. You want to focusing inside. You see, in the beginning, you're going to focus on the exterior or of the body doing this movement. You see, you can feel the hip joints and you can feel the structure. But after a while, what happens is the focus happens inside, like energetically. So it's sort of like we're sloshing. I feel like there's a sloshing around, like if you whisk a wine glass or something like that, and the wine goes around, or it's just like inside there's this sloshing of energy. You see, that's what we want to be working on, moving the energy interiorly. Okay, well then we go the opposite direction. In our exercises, in our Tai Chi warm-ups and all of that, we always do everything on both sides and in both directions. We tend to get to be very one-sided, like if, you know, tennis players or golf. I mean, a golf player always hits the ball in the same way, and that's why there's a lot of back injuries, because there's not a balance going on. And in Tai Chi, we want to balance all these exercises. Okay, so nice big circles. Smooth and easy. You want to work and feel it being very smooth. There's no little jerks. It's just very smooth and easy. Right? Good. Now we'll do figure eights. Now this figure eight is very good for the hip joints and legs, loosening and opening the legs and hip joint. So basically what's happening here is I'm heading over to this side, I go around this hip, head back over to this side and around this hip. I sort of see it like a figure eight. See? Like this. This is very good for belly dancers, can do all these things very, very, very well. And nice and loose and free, loose and free, loose and free. And then we're going to go in the other direction. So here I'm backing into this hip, turning around, backing into this hip and turning around, backing and turning, backing and turning. So it's still the same figure eight, only it's going in the opposite direction. Sometimes it's these kind of things, you know, feel it takes a little bit of effort to kind of understand how to do it, but it's very simple once you get it. Isn't that the way it is with everything? Once you understand how to do it, of course it's easy. Okay, figure eights. Now another torso warm-up that we like to do is what we call the twist. Now, this is one of the most important movements in Tai Chi. You see, the feet are relaxed, knees relaxed, and the torso is just turning, keeping the head, in this case, the head is staying in the same place. The arms are sort of moving counter to the way the pelvis is moving. You want to keep the low back relaxed. This is very good for loosening up all of the spine. Now, many movements use this, in Tai Chi, use this sort of energy. It's a way to release energy, and you'll be seeing it a lot as you go on in your practice. Anyways, one is keep the knees soft, working the hip joints, torso, nice and easy. Shake. Okay, very good. Kick out. Take an integration breath. So feel this energy, invite it in, and now align it. Feel this nice kind of lines of energy going down through the body. Down both sides of the body, down both legs, down both arms, and out through all the toes. All right? So yeah. Very good. Okay, let's do one more now, Qigong exercise. Now, Tai Chi, as I've said before, Tai Chi is a Qigong exercise. Qigong meaning energy exercise. And it could be anything. Yoga could be considered a Qigong exercise, and Tai Chi and whatever. And some are very specific and some are very general. Tai Chi is a very general, what we call a tonic Qigong exercise, works everything. Now this particular simple exercise that we're going to do is to tune up the three centers and coordinate our three dantians. The lower dantian is involved with your physical self, your power, your procreative powers, your survival, your strength is in the lower dantian, which is just below the belly button. The middle dantian, which is sort of in the heart center, the center of the chest, is involved with one's emotional self, what we consider the heart of the person, the love for family, love for community, love for oneself in the heart center. And finally, the upper dantian is in the center of the forehead between the two eyes, and this is involved with the intellect, the intelligence, the sort of spiritual joining with the sort of cosmic forces. And that's in this area. So we're going to take one breath into each one of these, focusing in each dantian, and we'll tie them all together, and I'll show you how to do it. Very simple. You start at the bottom. Some people start at the top. I like to start at the bottom. It's sort of like filling up a glass. You would start at the bottom and fill it up. If you start at the top, it just drops to the bottom. So it makes sense to me to start at the bottom, but everybody has their own way. For me, this is the way I do it. Okay, focus on the lower belly. Now this is very similar to the integration breath. Open. Now you want to open yourself up and imagine this energy streaming down from the universe and gather it. And this time we're going to herd it like in. Gather it and encourage it to come right into the lower belly. Even you can feel it if you can, see it, you can visualize it, coming right into this lower belly. And just hang out here for a moment. Feel this sort of energy permeate the center. Then, when you feel it here, take a breath and expand it in all directions, like blowing up a balloon. Good, the hands relax. Now, again, repeating the same thing. Open yourself up, gather, and this time we're going to bring and encourage the energy into the center of our chest. Right? Feel it come in, open up, it's right into the center of the chest. See if you can feel it here. Visualize this energy permeating into your heart center. Then, take a breath and let it expand in all directions. Then, relax. But we're going to tie this center. As you relax, bring this energy, some of this energy, and tie it to the lower dantian. See? Now those two centers are connected together, and then let the hands relax. One more time. Open. Imagine this energy streaming down. This time it's going to stream right in between your eyes, right in your forehead, right to the center of the forehead. Feel this energy right in your head, inside between your eyebrows. Then, inhale and expand in all directions in the head. And then tie this energy to the middle dantian, tying the spirit to the heart, to the emotions, and the emotions and the spirit to the physical body. And relax. Feeling yourself as complete, balanced, in tune. Very good. All right. Okay, so I hope that feels good to you. It feels good to me. Always when I practice Qigong, I always feel better, no matter what. You know, sometimes people say, oh, I didn't come to class because I didn't feel good. Well, that is the time that one needs to be coming to class. Okay? So when you don't feel right, practice your Qigong, practice your breathing. You'll feel better. All right, let's review the bow and sit stance. All right, so from Wu Qi stance, lowering the weight, knees go just about covering the toes, knees go in the direction of the toes, back is straight. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. We're starting to gather energy into the hip joint, into the knees, into the legs, into the hip joint, what we call the qua, into the qua. If you sit back like this, there's no energy in this area here. It's all in my upper back. Here now the energy is moved into this area. This is what we want. Very important as we go on. Okay? Then shift the weight to the left foot, right leg straightens out. Open up, turn the toe out to 45, halfway to the corner. Shift the weight, body facing in the direction the toe is headed. Sinking the weight into this foot. Roll up the left foot. Keeping the energy in the right qua, steps as far ahead as you can in a straight line. Remember, do not narrow the stance. There's the tendency to narrow the stance here when you step. No, you want to be stepping right out of the hip without moving the body. Don't come out of the qua until you're ready. The heel touches down. At this point, shift the weight forward. You move ahead till the knee just covers the toe. Be sure that the knee goes in the direction of the toe. You do not want the knee to be heading some other direction. You want to make sure that the knee goes in the direction of the toe. It maybe requires, in the beginning, some effort on your part to make it go like that. But after you develop for a while, the muscles will develop in the correct way so they'll go in the right direction. The body is headed in the direction you're going. So you don't want to be doing it sideways. You want to end up facing straight. The back leg is relatively straight without being locked. And this is what we call left foot bow stance, like a bow and arrow, left foot bow. Coming straight back, sitting back. Here we're using the qua. You're using the right quad. So again, you don't want to be leaning backward. This is right foot sit stance and left foot bow stance. Sit stance and bow stance. So this is the practice. You want to keep your center. You want to particularly be focusing on the center, moving on the same plane. You don't want to be going up and down or rocking in any way. It's just very nice and straight forward. Focusing on the belly moving, the torso. Excuse me, again, keeping the top of the head lifting. Don't rock, don't bend. So I do this about 10 times. That's 8, 9, 10. Sit back, turning the torso to face so that you're facing the sitting knee. Bring the foot back. And then stand up. Again, when you're coming back, just don't come back. You want to use this as a practice, developing strength and balance, okay? So, other side, Wuchi stance, lower the weight. This time shifting to the right foot, sitting, don't lean, sitting. Open up, 45. This leg should be straight without being stiff. Shift the weight onto this foot, roll up the back, roll up the right. Body still facing the direction this toe is facing. Step straight ahead without moving the torso, without moving anything. You're just stepping. Put the heel down, foot down, shift the weight forward. Move ahead till the knee covers the toe, nose points the knee, shoulders and hips face in the direction that your body is going. This is now right foot bow stance, left foot sit stance. Bow stance and sit stance. Focus on the torso moving. Now we can use this as a Qigong exercise, and should be, breathing rhythmically. Generally speaking, we inhale as we come back to gather, and exhale as we move forward to release. So it would be inhale and exhale. But if it feels more comfortable to do it the other way, that's perfectly fine too. You could do it that way. But you do want to be working on rhythmical breathing. So you'd open. Either way. You want smooth and easy, feeling the inside of the body moving. At some point, your body's going to disappear, and it's just going to be sort of just energy moving around. Okay, shift back, turn the torso to face to the left side, and bring the foot back. Stand up. Shake out a little bit. Yeah, you're definitely going to feel this in the knees. You'll feel this in the hips. Everybody does. Don't worry about it. Right? We talked about sharp shooting pains and dull aches, you know, so. Okay, let's do turning of the waist with the bow and sit stance. Okay, again, Wuchi stance, lower. Shift left, open right, shift right, roll up. Keep your body quiet as you step. This sort of has a feeling of like, you know, you're stepping over a little log or something, you see. It's not, you're not just swinging the foot. No, it's, you have to make an effort to lift up and step over something. That'll require you to use a little bit more muscle and balance, right? Okay. Good, shift forward. Okay, putting your hands in front of your center, your dantian. As we come back, we turn till the nose points to the knee. And shifting forward, we turn as we come back. So again, you're focusing on the center turning. Now, the legs are doing the same thing that they did for bow and sit. Only the torso is, upper body is turning. The bottom is not doing anything. Now, what the tendency is when you come back is to allow this whole hip to come over. See, now I'm all out of whack. And then when you come back, you see this knee comes focus. See how this knee is making like an arc? That's very, very, very common. That means you're going too far. Do not let this knee lose its orientation to the front. So turn and turn and turn and turn. Smooth and easy. See, gathering here and releasing. Gather, release. In the qua, into this qua. From this qua to this qua. I think it sounds like some kind of a song could be written about this, from qua to qua. But, okay. So smooth and easy. Again, don't lean, don't tilt. Easy. Good. Back, bring the foot back. Center up. Shake out. Okay. Other side. Down. Shift to the right. Open to the left. Shift. Now, let me say something. At home, you're watching this, I go shift right, and you're shifting left if you do the same thing. It doesn't matter. There's no, you can shift to this side or you can shift to the other side if it's easier or difficult. There's no difference about going one side first or the other, so don't worry about it. If sometimes I get mixed up with right and left, but so anyway, don't worry about it. Shifting, roll up. Sink, step. Again, you're kind of having the feeling of stepping over something. Shifting forward. Okay, hands in front, making sure you're starting, orienting towards the direction your forward toe is headed. And then back. Don't let this hip collapse and turn. So turn. Now, when you're doing this, you don't want to use tension. When you're back here, you're relaxing into it. You see, and I'm relaxing while I'm doing this. It's not, you know, no, it's easy. It's like if you were a lion, you know, and you're getting ready to spring and crouch, you know, there's a certain amount of attention. You see a cat, they're there, you know, there's a certain amount of attention, the whole focus, but the whole body, well, sometimes you do see the body trembling because they've got so much anticipation. But it's not the muscles that are doing that. You see, here is attention we want to be paying. So the body's relaxing, the energy is moving. Really, sometimes I imagine when I'm doing this that the energy is underneath the floor, that I have this track underneath the floor, that the energy is moving, which helps to sink my balance down. You see? Okay. As opposed to here, I'm floating on the top. And now here, my energy is going down further into the ground. And I'm getting heavier, my lower body is getting heavier, and the energy is sinking deeper. Yeah, so. Okay, very good. Up. Good, shake out. Okay, so that's bow and sit stance. And I really want you to be practicing this. This is the key. Getting this lower body, getting these legs working, it's the key. Work it. Work the lower body. Then you'll feel healthy and strong, and you'll be able to do these movements comfortably. All right, so let's review the first three movements. Commencement, ward off left, and right push upward. And then we'll work on our new movements. Okay, starting in Wuchi stance. Feet shoulder width, parallel, upright, balanced, and relaxed. Now, gently and easily, you can allow the arms to sort of fill up a little bit, and they just sort of start to rotate a little bit to face the rear. Sort of like The back starts to round a little bit and open. Then, when you're ready, starting with an inhale, commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Ward off left. Right, push upward. Again. Commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Ward off left. Right, push upward. From the back. Commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Two arms raised. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Elbows start down. Palms push downward. Body sinks. Keep the back straight. Don't bend. Ward off. Shift left. Open right. Shift right. Turning. Nose points to the right knee. Step straight ahead. Shift to the left foot and pong, pong, ward off. Relax into the center, pull in the toe slightly, turning slightly to the right. Step down slightly further to the right, then straight to the wall. And right, push upward, pong upward, energy moving up and out. Commencement, two wrists rise, the feeling of lifting, getting light. Elbows drop, everything's dropping, everything's sinking, energy sinking, sinking down. Ward off, right hand pong upward, joining with the energy. Leading, turning, bringing everything over to the right side, into your center position. Roll up, step straight ahead, don't move the torso, don't move the body. Finally, shift and pong, right hand dropping down, left hand ponging upward for balance. The right hand is dropping for balance, left hand is doing the action, pong, raising up. But stay on the same level. Your energy is raising up, but your body is staying on the same level. Right. Come to center, pull in. This foot is very important to get the weight off this foot. You don't want to have any weight here. Okay? Make sure all the weight is in the left foot. Yeah? Then step down the heel. Again, making sure you don't come out of your center. Step down. And right push upward. Here the energy is coming up and out. And at the end, remember at the end, to turn in the back toe. Remember, we want to get the torso facing in our new orientation. So if you don't turn it in, you're not going to be comfortable facing in your new direction. What you want to do is come around to face your new direction. So we let in the back toe. Right, push upward. Okay, one more time. flowing together. Commencement. Don't let the elbows, don't let the shoulders rise. Keep the arms in front of the body. Don't bring the arms behind the body. Keep the back straight. Hand comes straight out. Come to center, over to the right. Roll up, step straight ahead. And ward off, coming to the front. Right push upward, turning halfway. The body is turning halfway to your new direction. Hands are relaxing. You're like holding a ball or in your center position. Step out, and as the left hand comes up, the right hand just stays in the center of the body, and the right hand comes up for right push upward. Okay, that's fun, isn't it? Very interesting. So I think if I can get help, Stephanie Morell is going to come in, and if she would, help me, and so we can work on, hi Stephanie. Yeah. Now, I'm Michael and this is Stephanie. Even though we're wearing the same outfit, you might have a hard time telling us apart, but she's got the blonde hair and I've got the brown. Okay, so anyway, let's just review the application for the first two movements, and then we'll show you the application for the next three movements, and because they really go together. Okay, the first movement, let's say, I'll face sort of in this direction, so I think that you'll be able to see best in this sort of an orientation, even though in the form maybe I face this way or backwards. But okay, so in this case, the partner is coming in with her right side and punching inward. So the first thing I do is get out of the way, you see. And you notice that even though she follows me, even though here it's coming out, hopefully she should be going like this, but the tendency is right. So she follows, and of course she would do that. So what I do is, as I get out of the way, this hand comes up to join, and I can then lead her into emptiness. I then step behind her or near her, and pong, I can throw her over my leg. I can come up and strike her. If I'm on top, I can press her down. I can hit and expand outward. So this is always, there's three parts to every movement. One is join and neutralize. Two is control. Now I'm sort of in control of the situation. And three is return into attack. Okay, that's ward off. Right push upward. The opponent is on your right, and she's coming around for a kick to the center. So what I'm going to do here is I don't have time to neutralize, join, and all this. This is a big attack. So I'm just going to step inside and grab. This is up to protect, and then fling her off out of the corner. Right? So I'm here. She comes in. I step in, catch, and then throw. Yeah. Okay. So the next, this is used, both of these used pong energy or ward off energy rising up. Now we're going to use the reverse of that, or lu. We're going to come back into our center. So in this case, I'm forward, and as my partner attacks, I'm going to come backwards. And again, I'm going to come and turn, okay, at the same time. So in Tai Chi, there's no such thing as running away. I am just changing my position for a more strategic position, you see? So I'm not running away, no. I am taking control of the situation, and I'm going to roll back. Now this rollback is, see, as the punch comes in, this hand, not only am I turning to avoid it, but this hand is coming up to stick and lead and join and keep her from me. At the same time, this hand is coming up and twists her arm. So now her arm is twisted in an uncomfortable position. And lastly, when it all comes together, I'm putting a little stress on her wrist joint. This pressure is pressing outward into her elbow, and if I really press and pull, this hand is pulling inward, this is pressing out, it could easily snap that joint. Or in some cases, I could just take her to the ground and have a certain amount of control here. Okay, so this is roll back. So as she comes back, she's coming in, and now you see see how now she's sort of leaning, and she doesn't want to be there, so she tries to escape. You see how she's trying to get out of there. As she goes out, I move into, now this I went yin. Here I'm yang, right push upward. Now I'm yin. I'm yielding. Now I'm going to, as she goes backwards, I'm going to follow her and, bam, give her extra energy. Give her more energy. This is called Ji. This is Lu, or energy coming inward. Ji is two things coming out. In ward off was one thing moving out. This is two things moving out. And it's very strong, very powerful energy. Press. It's called press, or Ji. So she's coming in, I neutralize. As she goes, I don't even have to. If I wanted, say she was there, this would be terrible. This could be terrible, but say you're there and don't move, right? Is that this I could then come right up and right in that. That would be terrible. Or you press downward into the body, or like so. So that's what's called Ji. So Lu, roll back, Ji, press. Now again, I'm going to play this forward and backward game. I'm forward. Now she's pushing inward. She's going to attack me because I'm forward. She thinks I'm out of my route, so she's going to push in. So the first part is I open a neutralizer. See, now I'm inside of her energy. This is called on or push. The first part is to uproot or take the root. So I push down, that's on, and then out and out. So when she comes in, it's in and out, in and out. So, okay, why don't you retire for a minute and let me work through these, and then I want to bring Steffi back here at the very end to demonstrate how we put how these energies interact. But okay, now watch. From right push upward. First thing she did was she came to the center. This hand twisted and came to the waist, and the other hand stayed up on the elbow. This is what's called rollback. This energy is pulling slightly inward, the left hand. The right hand is pushing slightly outward to create that sort of force. Roll back. Now, don't let the hip collapse. There's a tendency to do this. If you turn too far, it's very easy to go too far, then I'm easily off balanced. You see, it's a very small, just a little turn. Yeah. And as you do this, there's some part of me, my energetic inside is going upwards. And I'll explain this later at some later date. But even though I'm pulling slightly down, I don't want to be doing this. You see? As this is coming in, as this energy is drawing downward, part of me is going upward to balance it. We call this we call dui la, or balance of energy. See? So I want to stay on top of the situation. Next, as she starts to retreat, this hand folds, this hand stays attached to her, folds in, and we press. The left palm faces the right wrist. Now, on some forms, some people put the hands together. Master Choi, my teacher, didn't do that, and I don't do that. There's no real reason. I don't, but just that's the way I've done it. You could press them, but in any case, I don't. So, from right push upward, there's a little transition, a little relaxation. Then we roll back. Keep this arm. We never let the arm get behind the body. We never let the arm get behind the body. If I did roll back like this, I could easily be pulled this way. You see? that you never let the arm go further than this. See? Here it is, this. It's just, this movement really is nothing more than this done like that. It looks like all these other things are going on, but it's very simple. Roll back, Lu. G. This hand drops a little. This hand circles up as we're moving back. So the body is going, boom, just like we just worked on, backward and forward. Go backward. As I'm going forward, back and forward, down and down, down and down, back and forward, back and forward. This energy is actually going to be like a wave. If I was really working with somebody, it'd be like this energy go and crash down like a wave. It would go. But that's inside. It's happening inside, but on the outside it looks like it's all on one horizontal plane. But inside it's a wave-like action. So roll back and press. Finally, push. The hands relax back to like commencement. Now, as she comes in, we push slightly downward. Don't let the arms get behind the body. It's a very, in front of the body, there's a slight pushing downward, following by a push away. Down and out. It's very circular kind of feeling here. Down and down. Now again, there's a tendency, you don't want to go backward. Now I'm out of my qua, I can't really push. I can only use my spine to push, which isn't very strong compared to my legs. You want the push looks like it's happening with the hands, but the hands are only attached to the other person. It's all happening with the leg. You see? It's the legs. This looks like I'm pulling with my arms. It's not. It's all with the legs. This looks like it's happening with the arms. It's not. It's all with the legs. 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 See, I want to do it in the other direction. Okay. So right push upward. Right push upward. Roll back. Press. And push. Don't go too far. Don't straighten the arms out. When you push, this is what we call beautiful maiden's wrist. Well, you see it everywhere. You do not want to make these angles. This wants to be soft, so the energy can flow quite freely out here to push. If I do it like this, the energy will stop here and get blocked. No, you want to keep the elbows down. Don't bring the elbows up. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Roll back. Press forward. And push. Okay, let's do this together. All together. Commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Shift, open. Shift, roll up. Step, don't move. Shift, ward off left. Pong, we call it. Pull in, turn sideways. Step, right push upward. Don't forget, turn in the back toe. Get your body facing this new direction. A little transition, relax. Roll back. Relax. Press. Relax. Down and out. Again. Commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Join. lead. Step in, pong. Relax. Join, throw. Relax. Roll back. Relax. Press. Relax. Push. Good. Now those, when I say relax, it's more subtle. It's going to be more subtle than that. Now watch. Commencement. Now we want to start working as we're linking these movements to thinking about this as one movement, one long movement. It's not 6 different movements. It's all 6 parts of one movement. You see? Here's one. But it's linked and it's tied together to this movement. And this one is linked and tied together to this movement, which is linked and tied together to this movement, which is linked and tied together to this movement, which will be linked and tied to a whole bunch more. So it's one long movement, one long movement. Well, Steph, if you come back, just come here quick. Here we'll demonstrate how these forces work together. She's pushing, I roll back. She presses, I neutralize, on. I push, she rolls back, I press, on, pong, lu, ji, an. Pong, lu, ji, an. So this is what's called Tui Xiao, or where we're practicing these energies, getting a feel for how these energies link and work together. And there's a whole art of this, what we call pushing hands. So these are very, very important. So thank you, Stephanie, very much. Okay, y'all, so I appreciate your coming and joining us, and practice. Practice, practice, practice. You have lots of opportunities to practice, so take advantage of it. So I'm just going to go out. I'll just do the form and go out, and Anna will take us out. And thank you, Stephanie, very much. And thank you, Bijal and Rose. And Gary. Left brush knee. Needle at C bottom. Fan through the back. Turn and chop opponent with fist. Step up, deflect downward, parry, and punch. Ward off left.